Hello there, it's a beautiful, cold, so I'm wearing my sweatshirt, October afternoon, almost evening, so I wanted to do this video really quick. I've been thinking about it recently. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll try to project my voice because we're outside without waking anyone up or offending anybody in the neighborhood. So, for those of you who know about like Abraham Hicks, law of attraction teachings, this is going to sound very familiar, but I'm going to put a little spin on it the way that I like it. So, first and foremost, what we'll talk about is that we need, as a collective, it is time for us to change our perspective to viewing the world as though there is only a stream of well-being. Only a stream of life that moves through us. The reason I wanted to do this, and the reason I wanted to explain on that topic a little bit, is because I've been seeing a lot of my friends and talking to a lot of people that keep saying, Zach, how can you say that there's not bad in the world? You know, of course there's bad in the world. Like, look at the killing and the murdering and the, you know, all this horrible stuff that is happening. And so I did some meditating, and I did some reading, and this was my little insight. So, if we look at nature, there is not a stream of sickness, of illness, of darkness. The trees, the life force, the prana, that flows through the trees, that flows through the plants, is not decrepit. It's not a lackful life force. It's an eternal presence that just keeps moving through the trees. And the tree will adapt to its environment to grow how it needs to grow. It doesn't stop growing unless it's not being nourished. It's not getting sunlight, it's not getting water. If it happens to burn. So, just like the trees, and in everything in life, it continues to be infused with this presence, with this life force. The daytime, there is light, right? It shines so that we can see. In the evening, at night, there's still light. It's just less presence of the light. So there's no dark switch. There's only a light switch. Does that make sense? If I go into a room, I don't turn on the dark switch. I'll turn off the light switch. So when it comes to our health, when it comes to our manifestations, when it comes to our beingness, we can either allow the stream of well-being, the life force, to infuse us, to flow through us perfectly, or we can disallow that life force. So how this is in terms to good and bad is that it's not really good and bad. I guess if we started interchanging the words good and bad with harmony or disharmony, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Because it's not bad that we're getting sick. It simply means that we are in disharmony with the life force, with allowing the life force to move through us, with allowing that presence to fully move through us, to fully be embodied within us. It's just disharmony. So our thoughts, the way we know that we're flowing life force, the way that we know that God, we're allowing God to move through us, is through our emotions. That's what they are. I did a video a while on this, of our emotions, and they are just our indicators of how well we are connected to that higher self, which is our God self, which is our true self, which is who we really are when we're not using this, and not using these, but using this. When we're using our insight rather than our eyesight. Ooh, that's a crow. The keepers of sacred law, they're talking to us right now. Crow medicine. So when we're using our insight and understanding what our emotions, oh, maybe this is a good one. You guys are getting a special treat right now. Or maybe this is a bad one and I'm being told not to explain this. No, I'm kidding. So when we're using our insight, when we're staying within, when we're taking, like I posted earlier today, Abraham Hicks posted this quote, or Esther Hicks posted this quote of Abraham, when we take our inner being everywhere we go. What that means is when we're present to the knowledge within ourselves everywhere we go, then our inner being is with us all the time, and then we're flowing life consistently. Then we're being our natural self, our true self. We're embodying that fully. We're embodying our God self. And we change the whole world through just being who we are. We change that presence. Every person we come into contact with is inspired by who we are, by what we say, by the way we act, by just being around us. They feel inspired to know that that is who they are as well. So, if we can take our awareness from there's like a devil or there's a demon or there's a evil pressing its forces upon us and man is sinful, and no, absolutely not. It's that we're just in disharmony with our higher understanding because we haven't learned how to connect with that yet. We don't understand that our emotions truly are our indicators of our connection to our God self, to the highest self. That's it. Once we can take that perspective, then we can see divinity, right? The divinity, here's a quote that I really love. Divinity is God in everything. The Christ is the power to recognize that divinity in all things. So we can embody our Christhood, our Buddha nature, our Buddhahood, by simply recognizing God in everything. And so if we see God in everything, and we know that God is omnipresent, which is in everything, omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, then we know that God is everything, and there's life force, and there's an infusion of spirit within every single thing. And when we see bad, it's really not bad, it's just that maybe this person is acting from a disharmonic understanding. They're acting from an egoistic perspective of separation. Not an ego like I'm a buff man, but like ego as in I'm separate from you, you're separate from me, we're not one. From that state of ego. And the same with our lives. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the same with our lives. Nothing is happening that is bad in our lives. I quit my job yesterday because it was just wearing on my soul. Like, I love personal training so much. I love inspiring people and helping them get to their, fitness goals and seeing the changes within their physical body, and even more so in their mental outlook by what they can achieve. But man, working at the job that I was, I'm not going to say where I was working, but it was just, ugh. It was not fun. Not fun anymore. It's not a I don't like the corporate structure of personal training. I like helping. But anyways, like, that could be looked at as bad. Or I could look at it as just another a step, a progression to really living my life path. But I know that I acted from a very harmonic place, and that Source, Spirit, God, was telling me, Zach, it's time for a change. It's time for you to move on. You're past this. You learned what you needed to learn in this environment, and beautiful. Let's move on. So for some people, it just depends on where our outlook is. Am I seeing everything, or am I living harmoniously with myself, with my highest self, with that intuitive guidance? Am I shutting up? Am I listening? Am I closing my eyes? Am I, asking? And am I allowing myself to receive it? And allowing myself to receive it is simply just being aware of where my thoughts are. Where are my emotions? How are my emotions reacting to my thoughts? And I think that's it. I kind of went off on a few tangents in this one, but really, so it's about changing our perspective from good and bad to maybe harmonious and disharmonic. That's it. Am I living true with the flow of life that is ever present in the trees, the grass, and everything? Or am I resisting that flow? Am I turning on the light switch, letting it flow, or am I turning off the light switch? Simple as that. There's no darkness. There's nothing that's gonna, no matter how dark the night may be, if there's one single star in the sky, it's gonna shine light. No matter how dark it may be, if you light a match, it's gonna light. It's gonna interpenetrate that darkness. So there's no darkness, there's no inky darkness that can encumber us. It's all about recognizing, am I living true to myself? And I can know that by how I feel. That is it. Beautiful. It's perfect. Are you living harmoniously? Or are you not? If you're not, what can you do to change that within your own psychology, within your own thinking, within your own behaviors? Simple as that. Excellent. Perfect. I've really been loving a lot of the comments that I've been getting on these videos. They've been so fantastic. I love them so much. So, if you have comments, if you do disagree, again, I love your disagreements. If you disagree, I'd love to have a little discourse with you and we can expand our awareness together. So beautiful. I love you guys so very much. Enjoy this October, this changing, this season of change right now. Ooh, can you feel it? Just the air is getting crisper and just everything. The old energies are falling apart. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. But I truly love you guys so very, very much. And I appreciate you always watching. And I will see you soon. Love you. Love you, love you, love you.